Hey guys, this is Annie. Welcome to Annie in China. Today we will take a walk through our community so that you can see what a Chinese community looks like. Let's go. Wow, it's quite cold today. I'm absolutely not used to the cold. 4 degrees, which is probably not so cold for other people, but I'm used to much warmer weather and I prefer much warmer weather, so this is quite cold for me. Okay, but let's get into the community. Check out the front gate. This is the front gate of our community. This is where we go in. It's all very fancy and very nice. It's a very nice community. We enjoy living here. Security is quite tight. Over here they have Face ID. Oh, thank you. Okay. And then the gate usually opens, but during the day they leave the gate open so that the delivery people can come and go as they please. This is a map of the community so that you can see all of the different buildings. There are about 18 or 19 buildings in this community. Yeah, so it's quite populated, especially because each building has so many floors. Our building, for example, has about, I think it's 11 floors, and there are many of the buildings that are much higher than ours. Here we've got some scooter parking where everybody parks all their e-bikes. Each building has a space for everybody to park their e-bikes and also to charge their e-bikes, so it's very convenient. In China, people are very health conscious and they really try to look after themselves well, and the communities are all equipped with some sort of exercise equipment and so on. So over here we have some exercise equipment, as you can see. The community is filled with this and there are so many options to exercise for free in your community that you don't even have to join a gym or anything like that, so it makes it so convenient. Almost all the people have children as well. They are really focused on children and giving their children better lives, so the community is fully equipped for children and to help make life more fun and exciting for them, I guess. So they have lots of these playgrounds everywhere. They have these mats that the children can run around and play on, and the jungle gyms and so on. And then also with the health consciousness in mind, they also have these basketball courts in our community, and every evening there are lots of people who play basketball and practice basketball and everything. So the communities are really equipped with so many things to enjoy and so many things to make your life easier. So when you rent an apartment, you don't only think about the apartment that you're renting, but the community that you're renting into. Not all communities are as nice as this one, but there are also communities that are much nicer than this one. So I think this is kind of the average type of community that you find. About 18 to 19 buildings, lots of exercise equipment, basketball courts, so many parks and nice beautiful gardens, spaces for e-bikes, and also a basement for the cars to be parked. This is one part where cars can drive into the basement. So there's a car driving out over there, as you can see. You can enter each building from the basement. They also have these red running tracks right around the community, which is about 500 meters, I think. So you can easily jog and exercise in the community and you don't even have to leave your community, which makes it so convenient. The ground floor apartments have a little garden space, as you can see, and many people like to plant some fruits or vegetables or so on in their garden. They enjoy planting these things and foraging for their own food. That's the type of people they are mostly here. We also live in a very agricultural minded community, if that is even a word. There are lots of farms around here and so on, and we have noticed that the people love planting their own vegetables and fruit and so on. So if they have the chance to have a garden, they usually do plant their garden, although it is quite difficult here in China because most people live in big apartment buildings like this, so it often is just not possible. Here once again the e-bikes have a nice roof that they can stop under. Our previous community didn't have this, and here are the charging points. As you can see, this is really very nice if you have an e-bike and you need to charge it often, which you do need to do because if you drive far it only lasts about a week, but our e-bike lasts quite long actually. But this just makes it really convenient to easily charge your e-bike outside, and you don't have to make an effort to actually get it up into your apartment and charge it in your apartment. This is just so much easier. Right through the community are nice benches set out for people to just sit and contemplate or do whatever you do on a bench. I usually sit on a bench. Guess that's it. But anyway, you have the opportunity to enjoy nature. There are beautiful gardens because people can't have their own gardens because they live in these apartment buildings. This is a very nice way to enjoy nature and to be able to have your own garden. They have these beautiful little buildings and these little benches and then gardens all around. It's such a beautiful community. I really just enjoy living here, and I'm so glad we could find this apartment. We were really lucky to find this apartment, and we will give you an apartment tour in the near future, so please get excited for that, because compared to some of the other apartment tours I have seen in China, I know that our apartment is quite nice and we are very lucky to have found it. Here is a bridge where you can walk over this basement area. The entrance to the community is that side and also that side. So there are a few bridges that goes over this basement area, and then each building has its basement space, so it's a pretty much a huge basement underneath all the buildings so that everybody can park their cars, because obviously 18 to 19 buildings of 11 to 20 floors each with many apartments, you can just imagine how many cars must be parked. So the basement area is really convenient for these people. Sometimes they even have 2 levels of basement, which is crazy. It goes so deep underground, but it's really cool. Anyway, here we have reached another one of the park parts. As you can see, there is a children's playground there in the background, and over here is a huge sand pit for the children to play in. It's so nice. There are always children here. I think today it's just a little bit too cold, so maybe the mothers were a little bit worried about their babies. Over here we have some exercise equipment again, so parents can exercise while their children play. This is really just an amazing way to live, and everybody always looks so happy here. I don't know if it's because of the community, but I am pretty sure that it adds to it. Okay guys, I'm freezing myself to death, so I'm gonna go back to my apartment. But thanks so much for joining me on this tour of my community. So much better. So, what can we take from this trip? Number 1, Chinese communities are big and there are lots of people living in them. Number 2, Chinese communities are well equipped. They have basically thought of everything. They've thought of healthy living, they've thought of the children, they've thought of everything to be able to accommodate so many people in one community. The communities are also very safe. They have a whole security team that gets together in the mornings and does exercises together. Sometimes when we're driving to work, we can see how they're getting themselves together, stretching together, getting their equipment together to take on another shift. And it's literally about 10 to 20 guys for one community, and the crime rate isn't even high. Since we've moved here, we haven't heard of even one instance of crime, where in our home country this is the complete opposite. Which is weird because security is so much better here, but the crime rate is so much lower than back home, where back home the security is so weak and the crime rate is just so high, which doesn't really make sense to me, but I'm glad I'm here, that's all I can say. Something that I didn't show in the video was that there are many shops just outside the community, all along the community. There are mini marts, there are pharmacies, there are dance schools, anything you can think of is so close by. We don't even have to take our e-bike, we can just walk there because it's so close. The Chinese way of living is absolutely convenient, and that's what I love about it. I don't have to look for anything, I don't have to wonder about anything. Anything is simply available and so convenient to use. All of the buildings also have a central heating system. This heating is applied to the whole city. Every single building in our city has underfloor heating that is provided by the city. You pay a certain amount for the winter time, which is about, I think, from middle November to middle March. The heating is on throughout the whole winter, and it's really not expensive if you compare it to your electricity bill if you had to use a heater. Rent in small cities is also not high at all. I have seen apartments in big cities advertised where the rent is very expensive compared to here. So I definitely think value for money in terms of rent here is amazing. You get an amazing apartment, you get underfloor heating during the winter, obviously for an extra price, but it's not expensive at all. You get a fantastic community with so many amenities. You get security, so many shops close by, and this is the case for most communities, not only in our town, but in all of the other Chinese cities. That brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for staying right to the end. I really hope you enjoyed this tour through our community and that you can see just how fantastic living in China really can be, because they just provide you with so many extra things. If you like this video, please consider hitting the like button, and please subscribe if you want to see more China related entertainment. Please also hit the bell button so that you can get notified if I upload a new video, because you never want to miss one of those. Comment below if you want to see something specific. If you're curious about something in China, I would really like to get your input. If you are living in China, please feel free to leave a comment about your community. What do you like about your community? What does your community have to offer? That's it for today. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.